I figure out my proper setting here. Be a little bit more.
All right. Well, that part's done. Tape off one end, flip it over, fill it with sand, and tape off the other end. So annealing keeps the metal from tearing when it's in the bender, and filling it with sand will keep it from like collapsing where the bending die is. It's just a little bit cozy up at the top. Fill it up to the top and then you pack it in by compact together. If you were doing schedule 80 pipe, I think we usually actually fill it up with water. Tamp it in like that, and that makes it extra dense. Schedule 40, so it's not quite as hard to bend. I think it might be wetting it just a hair, but
I think that's gonna happen.
I think that's what happened back there too.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly. And you can kind of see it back there too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just keep going.
We could
like it.
Maybe bring those rollers in more, but I don't know if that'll matter.
I don't know that it'll matter much, because it'll just like reduce that stretch range a little bit, right? And like make it more stretched here.
That should be like Probably like kind of that same radius, huh?
Yeah, I think just go for pretty much the match, yeah?
I know it's probably going to kink a little. There's not much we can do about it. Probably.
Yeah. I think it's going fine.
I think so. Just watch here. If you see it start to tear,
Yeah, and
then
stop.
Stop.
And we'll
Heat it
like
up again or something.
scooch this over and maybe that over to like try and bend a new spot.
Yeah. I know it's going to stretch a little right there.
Yep. Still going good-ish. It's alright, huh?
It's fine. Yeah.
It's getting to the point where it's not going to stretch there anymore. It's starting to move down the sides.
All right. Did you tell the people why we do what we do?
Nope, it's been a unnarrated video so far.
So why did he heat up the pipe with the weed burner?
So that's to, is the term anneal the metal? That's to take the temper out of it.
Yeah, to soften it a little bit.
Yeah.
Otherwise it just rip right here and tear the metal.
Yep.
And even so, it tries to do it a little bit, but it's okay. As long as it doesn't actually rip it.
And then afterwards I capped one end off and filled it up with sand, and that's to keep from collapsing the die side of the pipe.
Yeah, you get a nasty kink in it otherwise. And then these little pieces right here are just to prevent this from leaving a big dimple in the pipe. This is all stuff that we've learned from bending things in the past. We actually bent these rails, which are 2-inch pipe, schedule 80 with this thing, and I tell you what, it pretty much maxed it, but it did it.
That's about, that must be getting close. Let's see.
You're getting close.
Let's take a gander. I'm gonna just slip it out of there.
Yeah, if you don't put these little pieces in here, you get this really ugly dimple on your pipe, which is quite ugly. Here come a little tip. Yeah, no? Just enough. And probably need a hammer.
Yep, a little hammer.
That's not a hammer, but we'll treat it like one.
This is gonna gash it up probably. Go get a hammer. Let's do this the right way.
Well, here, let's just go see if it fits.
Oh yeah. So this is the what all Dad's talking about, Schedule 8 cap rail for bulwarks here.
Yeah, we put this bend in it. We put a tiny little,
Slight little dimple there in the
yeah, more than anything, it flattens it and widens it this way. It's like really the best you can do with what we have right here, quite honestly. So we are looking for something, boy, that is just about it. We're gonna match this angle right here, but also this curve. So that's kind of what we're going for, and we're not very far off. Yeah.
nice.
And then this is going to go up here like that, and what it's going to do is we're going to maintain this height back here because we pretty much like that and don't want it any higher, and then it's going to transfer it to the height up there, the same height forward on the deck, and that matches the other side. And so it'll be a little bit higher back here, obviously, because we're down some, but that's fine. And then up forward it's just a little bit below waist heights. So yeah, that's pretty close. How's that look for parallel on this back right here? not that way, but the gap.
Oh. Yeah, that's perfect.
That's perfect. So and then how about forward here?
Down the hair on forward. Perfect.
So that's about what we're off right there, Matt, if you want to take a look. All right, we just tested that. It's very close. Don't really have a very good way to measure this, so Matt's just going to bring it up and kind of take it a couple of pumps, and then this always has a little bit of spring back on this. It's hard to measure it like this. So we're just kind of eyeballing it, I guess.
Yeah, that was kind of like three pre-pumps and then 2 heavy pumps after.
Sounds about right. Let's see if you went over, folks.
Yep.
All right, folks, the eye don't lie, and it says that we are right on target. So now I gotta figure out how to put this stuff together with the old. We're gonna extend this other, well, I shouldn't say extend. We are gonna replace this back rail most likely, but just not today. So I think our plan is that we'll just cut this one to length, we'll saddle it, and then we'll weld it into the existing one there in the back. You guys probably don't know what I'm talking about because I'm just like pointing at something arbitrary off in the distance.
Let's go see what Dad's talking about here.
So, as I was saying, we kind of want to match the curve of this, so we want this to be up here. So we have a straight rail coming all the way back. That's going to match the height on the other side, just like over there. So right in here the rail is up about like this, which is fine because we don't really do any hauling over the side work right here, so that's fine. Back here we want it a little bit lower where it's more comfortable to be able to lean over but not like fall over. Not have it too low that it's compromising our safety, but right in here is a good spot right at your thigh. And so that's what we got to kind of tie in this corner right here. So we're just going to make these parallel right here and right here. And that looks real good. So this is going to get all kind of replaced and rebuilt, integrate our jig mount because this is pretty wonky. It's just kind of the way it was after we changed things a long time ago and built these bulwarks. It was like, let's go fishing and put it together with the junk that we got. And 10 years later, it's still here.
Yep.
So I think what we're going to do is we'll cut this to length. We'll saddle it. This is going to come off. We'll saddle this and weld it into this old existing one. Later on when we replace this, we'll just lob it off, probably just match the seam right here, lob that off, and then redo this and integrate a new roller or hauling station right there for Matt. So anyways, in the meantime, these will be parallel that way. This is parallel on this curve going up, and then our next pipe that we got to do will tie into this one. And so if you look down this, you can see it's got quite a bit of, not a whole lot, but it's got some bow in it. And it's also got some bend this way too. So that'll be the next thing, is that we're going to mark out this other pipe. And we got marked out every foot. I don't know if we need to put any heat on it. I don't remember if we did.
Need to. No.
Probably not. It's not a whole lot. So it's just going to be a couple of pumps on each bend. And that's going to give us what we want, what we need to match that curve both ways. And then I'm cutting the uprights for it right now, and we're just doing that with our good old DeWalt chop saw. That thing is a beast for cutting aluminum.
Yeah. Good old DeWalt.
There's other ways to do saddles, like using hole saws and a jig and stuff. We don't have one. This works really well. What I got going here is I just got a mark here. So if I'm saddling into the same size pipe, it's about a 35-degree angle. I cut it on one side, and then I just use my little handy dandy square right here, and And I've got a mark here, so I can put that on this little end. That's my overall length right there. And I can adjust it that way, and I'll make my first cut, and then I'll roll it over. I'll do the same thing, and then I can either just kind of eyeball it here and make sure that it looks square, or the other way that I do it is I'll just go ahead and place this right here, and you can see that there's a gap at the top, so it's not precisely square yet, and I just roll it until it is, and that's going to square that up in relation to the other one, and then I make that cut. What I end up with is just two little flaps right here on the end, and then this cup. It's not a super precise fit, but we're welding it, so it doesn't need to be. You've basically got a built-in bevel that way, and you got room for your weld to penetrate in there and get a good solid weld in there, and it comes out beautifully. For a pipe that's a little bit bigger, you just kind of got to play around with it. This is what do I got, about a 20, what am I at here, 20 degrees I think, 22.5. And the pipe that I'm going into is bigger on the rail here, and we're gonna have some plates kind of like this right here, so it's a little shallower angle on that. It's more like a 22-degree angle, but that gets us close right there. Same thing, it doesn't need to be perfect. Grinder will knock down the edge and tighten it up a little bit, and we'll go in there and weld it, and we're gonna have good penetration because we've got a place for that wire to go and get in there, and it's gonna be bueno. Nice. So all this stuff that we've done years and years ago, and we've never had any problems with it, so we're pretty confident that we just do it the same way, it'll hold up okay. And you can see we kind of got a little layout here. We got a couple of smiley faces to kind of show us where we're gonna go. This rail right here is going to be redone so it comes out straight. It's got a little bit of a drop in here. I forget if, I guess this is an original one we did, and later when we did the other side we just brought it out straight. This was for when we were sanding. So we're going to rebend this one, bring it out straight here, actually extend it over to here, and that's going to give whoever's hauling gear a nice spot right here to be able to lean up against the rail, reach down, gaff halibut, whatever he needs to do there. And then we'll have about a, what do we end up with, a 22-inch gap here, I think? 22-inch gap, something like that, that we'll be able to haul the fish through, kind of just like the same thing over there. And then our other rail will go this way. And so this is just going to be cut, and a nice pre-made elbow like this will go in there because that's a really nice shape. We can't get that tight of a bend on our machine. Yeah, so this one will get cut straight. We'll have an elbow. The rest of our pipe will go that way, and then these will be our mid ones to establish our height. So we're well on the way already.
Yeah.
Kind of excited.
It's all coming back to us.
Yeah.
We did that rail over there like at least 5 years ago.
Yeah, so it came out really well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's been bulletproof, so. It's indeed nice having rails over here.
Yeah, it's something that we've meant to get to for a long time, and we just haven't. And now this is kind of forcing our hand, really. We've been able to just fish and work off one side safely, but now that we're going to be hauling gear on this side, hauling our line over the side as opposed to the stern, it's pretty much, it's a necessity, really, it is. And so we're going to get it on here and be safe about it, and Mom's going to be happy about that, and so will we.
Yep, for sure. So I guess we'll set up the bender for our long piece. And yeah.
I'm going to do some more obnoxious cutting with this thing. It's a horrible, terrible sound, and I'm sure the neighbors love us for it. Good thing everybody's out fishing for the most part.
Yep.
Need a help?
Nope. Well, yes. For
That's a lot of bend. Probably perfect.
yeah. A little bit more, huh? Oh, wait, just turn it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like, this one's got a funny, it's got a little bit of a dip right there.
We might have slowed down right here too to flatten it out just a hair.
No, it's got a high spot and it's got a little bit of a dip. I think it's just like a little bit of a variation when we did it. Like if you see like that second bolt right there straight up from it.
That's the fill right there.
No.
That's the seam there.
My way a little bit more.
Yeah.
Where like that smudge is. There's a high spot right there.
I see it.
I can see a dip and then a high spot and a dip. So I think it was just a little variation. Can't do nothing about it.
Nope.
But we're pretty even and true that way. And this way we look, could be a little bit more in the middle maybe.
That's the right orientation. I see the dips on this one.
Yeah. You want me to put a mark on the top?
Yeah, sure.
So it just needs not a whole lot more.
Yeah, like
I'd say a little bit like maybe there and then about back where you are.
Like maybe these three.
That one right there to start with, yeah.
To start here, these three, just a hair more.
Yep. Yeah. Looking good, man. Making good progress on this.
Yeah. Alright, so we just test fitted this. Well, not even test fitted, just kind of like put it up for reference to check against the top one, and it's very close. One more pump, 3 lines out, and see how she looks. Pretty close.
Very repeatable.
Nice.
That's it, 4 uprights.
Check this before I do these last 3, I guess.
Check it before you wreck it. That'll come out easy enough.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, when we put those uprights in there and we pull this stuff around, it'll come down. Things are gonna move a little bit when we weld it anyways, most likely.
Yeah.
Just to annoy us, but
just slightly less so on these next ones, do you think? Right here is like parallel to outside. Is that what we're going for?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we need to be shooting in the middle, but.
Oh yeah.
But no, I think this is overbent right here.
Yeah, just a little bit, huh?
Tiny little bit. This one is. The rest looks really good. I'd say if you took a bit back out of this one, it'll be just right.
Okay.
Yeah. looks really good. It looks good that way too. It's not going to take very much.
Right.
That's for sure. Oh yeah, that did it.
Ah, yeah.
Boy, I think that's pretty darn close. You know?
Yeah.
It looks good this way.
Beauty.
That should be turned a bit more. Not like that. There, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It looks funny because I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
It's gonna look nice. This other rail's really beat up from hot fishing.
It is. Might have to buff it out a little bit.
Yeah. Alright. I think it looks pretty good, huh?
I think so.
That's the
Looks good.
beginning anyways.
Yeah. That's a good fit up right there.
Yeah, so that's what we got going. Just a little bit of bump down here with the grinder when we fit these plates and they'll be just right. I like it. So next will be just to make an upright for the sand right here. We'll just do, so this is I think this was a 22-degree angle and this is 33.5 on this one. So we'll just cut a couple of those with that angle on the bottom to fit a plate, and then we'll get the upright here to where our elbow is, and we'll weld those together and start joining some stuff up tomorrow.
Alright guys, just heading back over to the other stall where we were yesterday, continue working our rails. A little bit breezy today, a little south 15-ish. Kind of cloudy, looks like rain. They were calling for rain yesterday, but this morning it showed just cloudy, so fingers crossed it's just the cloud cover. Kind of a chilly day today. Ready to grab some lines here. Fishtail is pretty light, the wind catches are easy. Got a side drift and the wind's blowing. Gonna go ahead and bend our other rail for future use while we have all our stuff down here. Kind of got situated over here on the Emerald Isle. Pretty nice to have a floating workshop. Nice warm shelter. Somewhat warm anyways. Furnace isn't on right now. But
it certainly could be.
yes. It's pretty nice, not gonna lie. The dad's just cutting the cutting our bend to length, and he'll saddle it to meet into the rail that's right back up there.
Okay, so how's that look this way? I should probably cut a spacer.
It looks good that way.
No, this way.
Oh.
I can see from here.
That looks good.
Yeah?
Yep. And the other, tilt your end up a hair. Yeah. A little more.
A little more?
Yeah, good.
So, it's just off a little bit. So that still needs to go in. Oh gosh, I don't know. What is that, about 2 inches? Seems like a lot still. Maybe grab a tape measure. So that's probably like about 1 inch, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'd say.
So if that was 1 inch, and that's probably like about a 1/2 inch there, huh? So it's got to come in about 3/4. You know what? I'm just gonna make it be where it needs to be here, because this doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's gonna get cut off.
Yeah.
There's no
That's
needs to
best.
like have to try and change this around later. I'll just take another 3/4 off of it. Looks like this is almost right. Looks like that saddle could come this way a little bit. So I'm just going to recut the saddle and then see what happens. Then when I'm done, I'll just grind that extra out of there so it can come over a bit.
Okay, I got my other curve bent, and I've just heated up that chunk over there to make a new rail that'll come back to right here. Meanwhile, Dad's over yonder doing some grinding, prepping his pieces. We got the MIG welder all hooked up, so it's ready to go. We've got our generator hooked back up into the fuel tank, so that's all ready to go. Not long now, we'll be doing a little welding.